guys, Junior with S.O.T Metalworks coming at you with a little different video today. We're up here at Fort Knox doing a little deer scouting. It's early spring, just trying to get a feel for where we want to hunt this fall, stuff like that. And we've stumbled across a cemetery here, and there's another one over here we're probably going to park at after a while. Try to give you guys a walkthrough of what's going on. So Fort Knox was bought back in the 1940s, somewhere in amongst there. And a lot of this landscape was dotted with households and cemeteries and stuff like that. When the military reservation bought all that land, they still kept the cemeteries up here on the installation. So those cemeteries are scattered through outposts. One day a year, Memorial Day, you can come up here and visit Fort Knox. And if you have family buried in these cemeteries, you can visit, put flowers on the grave, show your respects, do whatever you need to do. So this is one of the cemeteries, just going to kind of give you a little rundown of what's going on and how they kind of maintain them and keep up with them. All right, guys, we are at the Gunung Cemetery number 42 up here on post. You can kind of see they've got everything fenced in. They've actually done a fantastic job. They've actually come back in a lot of these cemeteries that you can get to and built roads, put in good gravel and stuff, trying to maintain and give the family a sense of pride about where their loved ones are buried and stuff like that. But some of these graves are old now. They go back a few days, that's for sure. But in this one here, we've just got your regular woven wire fence stretched up around it, trying to make sure everybody does what they need to do. No training gets involved down here, stuff like that. So let's go over here and visit a couple of these headstones and just give you a couple dates. So we got Henry there. That one is a little so old, can't read it. But they have some people who come back and touch stuff up, do a good job on these headstones, trying to keep them as cared for as possible. All right, we got Mary here. I can't read the last name. Born May 9th, 1843. She passed away September 17th, 1862. So that gives you a little indication just how old these headstones are. They're from back in the day. Matilda here, let's see, passed away April 15th. No, passed away October 30th, 1866. My goodness, that's an old one. We've got Edward. Edward died March 11th, 1876. So you kind of tell some of these headstones have been around a day or two. They're a little worse for wear, but you know what? Proud of Fort Knox for trying to keep up with what's important. You know, when you lay your loved ones to rest, you want to make sure you got a proper place to lay them. And they're doing a pretty good job of doing the best they can to keep up with the situation. So, all right, guys, just a little tidbit here. We'll get over to the other one. It's got a little cooler wall. We've been over to it before doing a little deer scouting. Want to do a little more this year, and we'll see what's going on. All right, guys, so we are at Owen Cemetery here on Fort Knox. This is the same hunting area. We're logged into the same area. This is just probably, man, I don't know. I'd guess half a mile, maybe 3/4 mile away from where we were at over at Gunner there just a little bit ago. But as you can see, this one's got a fantastic looking rock wall around it. Pretty well maintained. Nice big cedar tree out here in front. And like I said, these are normally open to the public if you have family in these cemeteries on Memorial Day. So, but yeah, let's venture in here and see what we got going on. There are some older graves and stuff in here. There's a few newer ones. They've come back in and set some headstones and stuff, I believe, if I was told correctly. The family kind of come back in here and spruced everything up. But there's a 1948, 1945, 1940, November 1930. So you know that's a newer headstone with these older gravestones in here. But these are really, really sweet and cool. This block wall around this one, this is probably one of the prettiest cemeteries up here on Post. Now I haven't been to all of them, but some of them are not in hunting areas. I don't get a chance to get around them, stuff like that. But yeah, this is pretty slick. Out here in the middle of God's country, in the middle of pretty much nowhere, it is pretty sharp. Do you see some of the older ones here? 1896, is it 96 or 98? 1899. That's a little bit older one. You can see they've done some repair jobs to some of these, you know, clean stuff up a little bit. Here's one, September 24th, 1906. Just a tidbit of information, September 24th, that's my birthday, so. But yeah, I don't have a lot of information on this cemetery, but I see it when we come down to this hunting area from time to time. Always wanted to stop in and check it out a little bit. This is it's pretty cool. 1882 right there. So this is the Owen family cemetery from back in the day. Like I said earlier, the Post was kind of bought a lot of this property back in the 1940s, somewhere in there. So it's I don't know the exact dates, but the craftsmanship on this, it's a pretty old headstone right there, but that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Some great work back in the old days on some of these headstones. And of course, you know, as time goes by, family kind of, you know, forgets about these and what have you, but Fort Knox tries to do a pretty good job of keeping up with everything. And there are several on posts that are so old, there's no engraving, no nothing on a lot of them. They're just creek rock or limestone rocks put up in here just to mark the significance of the person that's laying in the ground. It's this one's got a creek. It runs right down the back side of it here. It is a really cool deal. Got the rushing water and everything just coming down, just trickling along. Nice, quiet. I'm here bothering the rest and relaxation right now, but pretty cool deal. All right, guys, we're rolling out of this one, but just wanted to take a minute for the metal work here. I mean, S.O.T, anytime he gets an opportunity to stop and check out some metal work, he's gonna do that. But this gate has been here a day or two. My goodness. Laid into that block wall. They've actually got a hole drilled down here. I checked one time before. They've got a hole drilled in this rock they've set that this gate rides in. So it's pretty cool. I don't know when this gate was installed or put in and when all this wall and all this was done, but they've done a fantastic job, because it seems to have held up for a long while. I'm surprised more trees and stuff, you know, haven't dropped limbs down, maybe knocked the wall. Maybe it's been replaced and repaired over time, but I'm not sure. But pretty cool deal. And yeah, they've got a decent gravel road that you can drive your car right here to this family cemetery and check this joker out if need be. Like I said, most generally you've got to know somebody who is buried in here to get in here and visit these, but it's still a really fantastic deal for the families that have people laying here, or you know some of these fine folks. So all right, off to the next one. All right, guys, so bear with me with the wind a little bit, but we are at the next cemetery, the Lincoln Memorial Cemetery, and we're going to go on here and check this out a little bit. But if I'm not mistaken, this is Abraham Lincoln's grandmother, Bathsheba, if I'm saying that correctly. I hope I am. And I believe his aunt, and I think her name was Nancy, but I'm not 100% sure on that. So we're going to ease on in here, check this out, see the most famous cemetery on the installation. All right, guys, so yeah, let's walk up here and check things out a little bit and see what we got. It's a pretty nice cemetery. One of the most famous cemeteries on this installation. All right, so this is Bathsheba Lincoln, I believe. You can kind of read some of the stuff there. I think the good writing is on the back, if I'm not mistaken, but be a little easier for you guys to see if you need to pause the video there and check that out. But yep, Bathsheba Lincoln. So this was the grandmother of our 16th president. I think it tells on here. Yeah, 16th president. Our 16th president, Abraham Lincoln. This is his grandmother. This is his aunt. No. This is his aunt. And this was his aunt's husband. So that's why this cemetery is named the Lincoln Cemetery. And I believe Nancy's headstone has a little bit of writing on it. Hopefully you guys can see all that. It's a little hard to read with the sunlight. The replacement marker was provided by Environmental Management, Fort Knox. Sorry for the wind, guys. It's a little crazy today, but yeah, Abraham Lincoln's grandmother. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. I like the Lincoln there. So yeah, out of all the ones up here on the reservation, this is probably one of the most famous ones. This has some very old headstones in it as well. Highly maintained. The news channels have been up here. Just all kind of stuff. So you just never know what you might run across when you're out scouting for deer in the early spring. It's it's a little crazy. All right, guys, so I'm hoping I'm breaking no rules here or anything else. We were in the hunting areas doing some deer scouting this spring. Just went through this, just hopped into them. We kind of hunt behind one of these cemeteries just a little bit every now and then. So I wanted to see what the deer population was up to. But the deer scouting kind of turned into a cemetery tour, and I hope you guys are okay with that. It's not the norm. I'm not really sure here. It's kind of a gray area for me. I'm not. I kind of dive into the history stuff, and I've read up on the Abraham Lincoln, some of the places he's lived around here, local and close, and some of his family and stuff like that. Maybe one day we'll dive into that, but I always think that history stuff is pretty cool. The older I get, the more I get into it, and it's knowledge is power sometimes. So it's always nice to know these things and visit these places. And you know, it's just with this self-quarantine going on, it's a very easy thing to do. Not hit these great big public places. Get your butt out in the woods, do a little exploring, a little adventuring, and see what happens. So that's what we did today. Didn't find any deer sheds, but hey, that's just part of it. But we did get to visit some great and fantastic cemeteries and catch up on a little bit of history and let you guys know a little bit about what's going on. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that and wasn't too awfully boring, and I give you just enough tidbits to keep you interested. So all right, guys, we're gonna cut on out of here. You guys remember to be safe out there. Don't let this virus get you down. Self-quarantine, go to the woods, stay away from everybody. It's the best time to do it. All right, guys, remember, stay safe out there, and as always, work smarter, not harder. We're out, guys. Thank you for watching.